The sky over Proxima Tertius burned red. Not the gentle red of sunset, but the angry crimson of ships dying in orbit. Admiral Zalvorth watched the battle feeds with hollow eyes. This was the third world to fall this month. Status report, he ordered, his four-fingered hand gripping the command rail. Sir, we've lost the outer defense ring, replied Commander Trell. The Vex ships are breaking through our lines. The command center buzzed with desperate activity. Screens showed the Vex armada, hundreds of crystal-like ships moving in perfect formation, their surfaces reflecting starlight like teeth. They didn't waste energy on fancy maneuvers. They didn't need to. Where is the support fleet? Zalvorth demanded. Destroyed, sir? 6 hours ago? The Admiral closed his eyes briefly. 6 billion people lived on Proxima Tertius. 6 billion souls about to suffer the same fate as the other 27 worlds the Vex had harvested. Evacuation status? 30% complete. We need more time. A flash of light made everyone flinch. On the main screen, 3 coalition cruisers disappeared in balls of white fire. The Vex have broken through the final line, Trell announced, her voice steady despite the fear. They'll reach the surface in 10 minutes. Zalvorth knew what would happen next. The Vex ships would land. They would insert their drills into the planet's crust. They would begin draining the core energy, and then they would leave behind a hollow shell. Admiral, called the sensor officer, we're detecting an unidentified vessel entering the system. Reinforcements? Hope flickered briefly. Negative. Single ship, small profile. It's... The officer paused, confused. It's moving through the Vex formation. They're not engaging it. On screen, ordered Zalvorth. The image shifted to show a dark vessel unlike any coalition design. It was angular, almost primitive-looking compared to their sleek ships, with heavy armor plating and what appeared to be massive weapon ports along its hull. It moved with surprising speed for its bulk, threading between the Vex ships like they weren't even there. Magnify, the Admiral commanded. The image zoomed in on markings along the ship's side, symbols in a script he hadn't seen in centuries. Can we translate? The computer worked for a moment. Then the symbols resolved into words. UNSC Dauntless Earth. Earth, whispered Trell beside him. That's impossible. Humans disappeared from galactic society 400 years ago. Apparently, not all of them, Zalvorth replied. He had studied the ancient texts. Humans were known for their tenacity, their unpredictability, and their capacity for warfare. Sir, the Vex fleet is changing formation, the tactical officer called out. They're breaking off from their approach vector. Some ships are turning to track the human vessel. For the first time in his long career, Zalvorth saw Vex ships break their perfect harmony. Something about that lone ship had caught their attention. Open a channel to that vessel, he ordered. Trying, sir, but our communications are being jammed. The building shook as the first Vex weapons hit the planetary defense shield. Sir, evacuation is at 34%. We're running out of time. Zalvorth watched the human ship disappear behind Proxima's moon. Whatever they were doing here, they were too late to save this world. But perhaps, just perhaps, they represented something the galaxy had lost long ago. Hope. The command center lights flickered as the power grid began to fail. May the stars guide you, humans, Zalvorth whispered as darkness fell. They ravaged the galaxy until a lone human warship entered orbit, Captain. Helena Vasquez stood with her hands clasped behind her back, watching the dying planet on the main view screen. Her dark eyes reflected the flashes of destruction as Proxima Tertius fell to the crystal ships. Too late. Again. Captain, we're safely behind the moon, reported Lieutenant Rodriguez at the helm. The Vex ships can't detect us here. Helena nodded. The UNSC Dauntless was Earth's greatest achievement. A warship with technology no other species had. Its cloaking system didn't just hide the ship, it made the Dauntless practically invisible to sensors. Status report, she ordered. All systems normal. Cloaking field at 98%, said Chief Engineer Ortiz. He was an older man with gray hair who had helped build the ship. Those crystal ships didn't even see us. They saw something, Helena replied. They changed course. The bridge was smaller than most would expect for humanity's most advanced ship. Just 12 crew members operated the key stations. The Dauntless carried only 157 people total, all that could be spared from Earth's limited population. What do we know about these attackers? Helena asked. Science Officer Wei Chen looked up from his station. The Coalition database calls them the Vex. They appeared 3 years ago and have destroyed 28 planets so far. No one knows where they came from or what they want. Helena walked to the tactical display. Small red dots showed the Vex ships landing on Proxima Tertius. She had seen this pattern before, on the recordings from other dead worlds they had found. They're not destroying the planet, she said. They're eating it. Captain, called Communications Officer Park, I'm picking up emergency signals. A Coalition evacuation ship made it out before the defense grid fell. Helena straightened up. Location? Hiding in the asteroid belt, but they're damaged. Life support failing. She didn't hesitate. Set course. Maximum stealth. Captain, Chief Ortiz warned. Our orders were to observe only. Earth command was clear. Earth is 5 light years away. Helena cut him off. I'm not leaving survivors to die when we can help. The Dauntless moved silently through space, its dark hull absorbing light rather than reflecting it. The ship looked like a predator, all sharp angles and hidden weapons. Unlike the smooth, bright ships the Coalition built, the Dauntless was made for war. 20 minutes later, they found the evacuation ship. It was drifting, its engines dark. Life signs? Helena asked. Approximately 300, Chen replied. Oxygen levels critical. Bring us alongside. Prepare for emergency docking. The crew moved with practiced efficiency. The humans had spent centuries in isolation after the warp gate collapsed, cutting Earth off from the galaxy. While the Coalition grew soft with peace, humans had continued to fight against nature, against disaster, sometimes against each other. They're hailing us, Park said, surprised. Audio only. Put it through, Helena ordered. A weak voice filled the bridge. Unknown vessel, and please, we have children aboard. Helena leaned forward. This is Captain Helena Vasquez of the UNSC Dauntless Earth Fleet. We're coming to help. Silence followed. Then, Earth? Humans still exist? Very much so, Helena replied with a small smile. And we've learned a few things since we've been gone. As the Dauntless moved closer to the crippled ship, Helena watched the tactical display. The Vex were still busy with the planet, but soon they would finish. And then what? Earth had sent the Dauntless to find out why their colonies had gone silent. Instead, they found a galaxy being devoured. Helena knew one ship couldn't stop an armada. But perhaps one ship could be the beginning of something more. Docking complete, Rodriguez announced. Let's welcome our guests, Helena said, and show them humanity hasn't forgotten how to fight. The survivors filled the Dauntless's cargo bay. They were a mix of species, some with blue skin, others with extra limbs or glowing eyes. Children huddled close to parents. The injured lay on emergency beds set up by the human medical team. Doctor. Fatima Hassan, the ship's chief medical officer, approached Captain Vasquez. Most will recover, Captain. Their physiology isn't so different from ours. Helena nodded, scanning the crowd. Her eyes stopped on a tall, thin alien with silver skin who was studying the humans with obvious fascination. You, Helena called, walking over. You keep staring at my crew. Why? The alien bowed slightly. Forgive me, Captain. I am Trell, data archivist of the Coalition Science Council. I never expected to see humans in my lifetime. We've been gone a long time, Helena admitted. Not gone, Trell corrected. Legendary. Helena raised an eyebrow. Explain. Trell pulled a small device from his pocket and projected an image. An ancient painting of humans in battle armor fighting alongside Coalition forces against a shadowy enemy. The Terran Imperium, Trell said. Your ancestors fought with unmatched courage before disappearing 4 centuries ago. Many believe humans were myths created to inspire bravery. Before Helena could respond, Lieutenant Rodriguez approached. Captain, the Vex have finished with Proxima Tertius. They're preparing to jump to the next system. Show me, Helena ordered, following Rodriguez to a nearby screen. The image showed Proxima Tertius, once a beautiful blue-green world, now a hollow gray shell. The crystal ships were forming a pattern, preparing to leave. They took everything, Helena whispered. The entire core. Yes, Trell said, joining them. The Vex harvest planetary cores for energy. 28 worlds have suffered this fate. And the Coalition can't stop them? Trell looked down. We tried. The Coalition hasn't fought a real war in centuries. We evolved toward peace while the Vex evolved only to consume. Helena exchanged glances with her officers. During Earth's isolation, humans had nearly destroyed themselves in wars over limited resources. Those same wars forced them to develop weapons and tactics that might now save the galaxy. Captain, called Science Officer Chen from across the bay. I've analyzed the Coalition data on the Vex ships. Their hulls are similar to our quantum displacement technology, but cruder. Our weapons might work against them, Weapons Officer Zhang added, excitement in her voice. Helena turned to Trell. Where is your leadership hiding? The Coalition must have a sanctuary somewhere. The Enclave, Trell admitted reluctantly. A hidden station in the Altaris Nebula. But why? Because we're going there, Helena stated firmly. Earth sent us to find our lost colonies. Instead, we found a galaxy under attack. We can help. One ship against hundreds? Trell asked skeptically. Helena smiled. One ship with technology. Your people haven't seen before. Earth didn't stop advancing while we were away. She turned to her crew. Prepare for jump to the Altaris Nebula. Maximum stealth. As the crew dispersed, Trell touched Helena's arm. Captain, there's something you should know. In our ancient texts, humans weren't just allies. They were warriors who fought with unpredictable methods. The Coalition elders fear such qualities. They may not welcome your help. Helena's eyes hardened. They don't have to welcome it. They just have to accept it. The Vex haven't faced humans yet, and that's about to change everything. Behind them, Earth's most advanced warship hummed with power, ready to remind the galaxy why humans were the stuff of legends. The Enclave floated in the purple mists of the Altaris Nebula. From a distance, it looked like a snowflake made of metal, delicate spires and rings connecting to a central hub. The Dauntless approached slowly, its dark hull a stark contrast to the gleaming white station. They've detected us, Lieutenant, Park reported from communications. They're demanding identification. Helena straightened her uniform. Tell them Captain Helena Vasquez of Earth requests an audience with Coalition leadership. We bring survivors from Proxima Tertius. Minutes later, the Dauntless docked at one of the Enclave's outer arms. Helena selected a small team, herself, Science Officer Chen, Security Chief Nakamura, and Trell as their guide. The Coalition greeting party was led by a small blue-skinned woman with large eyes. I am High Chancellor Omizal, she said stiffly. Your appearance has caused quite a stir, Captain. Helena nodded. We come to help. Omizal led them through gleaming corridors to a circular chamber where 12 alien leaders sat around a table. Their faces showed a mix of curiosity, hope, and suspicion. The human claims they can help us fight the Vex, Omizal announced. An older alien with tentacles where a human would have arms laughed bitterly. One ship? The Vex have consumed 300 worlds across 3 sectors. What difference could you possibly make? Helena stood tall. Earth developed in isolation for 4 centuries. Our technologies evolved differently. We have weapons that might work against the Vex. Impossible, said another leader. Our best scientists, your scientists haven't faced the challenges. We have, Helena interrupted. Earth nearly destroyed itself in resource wars. We had to develop adaptive defense systems and quantum displacement weapons just to survive. The room fell silent. Even if this is true, Omizal said slowly, 1. Ship cannot. Alarm suddenly blared throughout the station. A voice came over the speakers. Vex ships detected. 3 vessels approaching. The coalition leaders paled. How did they find us? One whispered. They must have tracked the survivors, another replied. Helena turned to Omizal. Let me show you what one ship can do. Omizal hesitated, then nodded. Minutes later, Helena stood on the Dauntless's bridge. Target the lead Vex ship. Prepare quantum torpedoes. Ready, Captain, Zhang replied from weapons. Fire. The Dauntless shuddered slightly as it launched 2 torpedoes. They moved unlike normal weapons, sometimes disappearing briefly before reappearing closer to their target. The lead Vex ship tried to evade, but the torpedoes adjusted their course, impossibly. On the main screen, the torpedoes struck the crystal hull of the Vex ship. Instead of a normal explosion, the impact point seemed to fold inward, as if space itself was collapsing. Direct hit, Zhang reported. Vex ship is disabled. Target. The second ship, Helena ordered. Fire rail cannons. The Dauntless's side ports opened, revealing massive electromagnetic launchers. They fired metal projectiles at near light speed. The second Vex ship's shields flared and failed as the projectiles tore through its hull. The third Vex ship turned, to flee. Shall we pursue? Rodriguez asked. Helena shook her head. Let it go. It will take a message back to the others. On the observation deck, the coalition leaders watched in stunned silence. How? Omizal began. Quantum physics. Helena answered simply. We attack through dimensions the Vex can't defend against. For the first time in years, hope flickered in Omizal's large eyes. Perhaps one ship can make a difference after all. Science Officer Wei Chen sat surrounded by holographic displays in the Dauntless's lab. Pieces of recovered Vex technology floated in containment fields around him. He had been working for 18 hours straight. Any progress? Captain Vasquez asked as she entered with a cup of coffee for him. Chen accepted the drink gratefully. Yes, and it's fascinating. He pointed to a crystal fragment. This isn't just a ship hull, it's alive, or was. The Vex vessels are partly organic. Living. Ships? Helena frowned. More like a hybrid. And look at this. Chen moved a display closer. It showed energy patterns flowing through the crystal. They're harvesting gravitational potential energy from planetary cores. In simple terms, please, Chen smiled. They're stealing the energy that holds planets together. We abandoned similar research on Earth centuries ago because it was too dangerous. And too tempting, added a new voice. They turned to see Commander Crestal in the doorway. The Coalition had assigned him as their liaison, a veteran who had fought the Vex in 20 failed campaigns. Your people tried this technology too? Helena asked. Crestal nodded. Before the Great Peace, we abandoned it when we saw what it could do. The Vex didn't share your moral concerns, Chen said, but I found something else. He brought up another display. Their ships communicate through quantum entanglement. Perfect for coordination, but it creates a potential weakness, Helena finished, understanding immediately. Exactly. A backdoor. If we could inject a disruption signal into one ship, it would affect them all. Crestal moved closer. You're suggesting we could disable the entire Vex fleet at once? In theory, Chen admitted, but we'd need to get very close to their command ship. Helena's eyes lit with determination. Then that's what we'll do. Later, in the Enclave's Grand Council chamber, Helena presented their findings to the Coalition leadership. The atmosphere had changed since their arrival. Respect had replaced skepticism. We propose a joint operation, Helena explained. The Dauntless will approach the Vex command vessel and deploy Dr. Chen's quantum virus. Your ships will stand ready to attack once their network is compromised. High Chancellor Omizal looked troubled. Your plan requires getting dangerously close to the main Vex fleet. The risk is enormous. War always carries risk, Helena replied simply. My people have forgotten that, Crestal said, standing beside Helena. We've been at peace so long we've forgotten how to fight, but humans remember. Omizal studied them both. Very well. The Coalition will provide ships under Commander Cressistal's leadership. You will share your combat protocols and weapons designs. With respect, Helena countered. We'll share our defensive technology immediately, but offensive capabilities must wait until we establish trust. The room tensed. Humans were offering help but setting conditions. After a long moment, Omi Zal nodded, agreed. Commander Cressistal will join your ship to observe human combat protocols. As they left the chamber, Cressistal walked beside Helena. Your defensive technology alone makes this worthwhile. But I'm curious, why are humans so willing to fight for a galaxy that forgot you? Helena looked at him. Earth spent centuries thinking we were alone in the universe. We're not fighting for the Coalition, Commander. We're fighting because this galaxy is our home too. And humans protect what's theirs. Cressistal smiled slightly. The old texts were right about your kind. How so? They said humans were the most dangerous species in the galaxy, not because you were stronger or smarter, but because you never ever gave up. The Altaris system glowed blue-green in the main view screen. 12 planets orbited a young star, a system untouched by the Vex until now. 3 crystal ships had entered the system and were moving toward the 4th planet, where 5 million Coalition citizens lived. They're beginning harvest preparations, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from the helm of the Dauntless. Captain Vasquez stood at the center of the bridge, Commander Cressistal beside her. Behind them, a small fleet of 6 Coalition ships waited, in formation. They don't know we're here, Helena said. How does it feel to have the advantage for once, Commander? Cressistal's face showed surprise. In 20 campaigns, we never achieved surprise against the Vex. Your stealth technology is remarkable. Helena smiled. Time to show you what else humans can do. She activated the ship's comm. All stations, prepare for combat. Coalition vessels, maintain stealth formation Delta. The plan was simple, but unlike anything the Coalition had tried. Instead of a direct confrontation, the ships would attack from multiple angles using hit-and-run tactics developed during Earth's long isolation. Lieutenant Park, begin electronic countermeasures, Helena ordered. Park's fingers danced across her console. Broadcasting conflicting signals now, Captain. The Dauntless began transmitting dozens of fake communications on frequencies the Vex could detect. Some contained false fleet positions, others mimicked distress calls or evacuation orders. Lieutenant Zhang, target the lead Vex ship's propulsion systems, precision strike only. Targeting, Captain, Zhang replied from weapons. Ready. Helena took a deep breath. Fire. The Dauntless shuddered slightly as rail cannons launched their projectiles. At the same time, the ship dropped its stealth field and accelerated toward the Vex formation. On the view screen, the lead Vex ship's engines exploded in a shower of crystal fragments. Coalition Group 1, attack pattern Omega, Helena commanded. Target the damaged vessel. 3 Coalition ships appeared from behind a moon, firing energy weapons at the crippled Vex ship. Their weapons, enhanced with human technology, cut through the crystal hull. For the first time, Cressistal witnessed something extraordinary: confusion in the Vex response. The 2 remaining ships moved in different directions, their perfect coordination disrupted by the conflicting signals. They're trying to identify the real threats from the false ones, Helena explained. They've never faced human electronic warfare before. Coalition Group 2, execute flanking maneuver, she continued. Target the rightmost vessel's sensor array. The remaining Coalition ships struck from the opposite direction. The Vex ship turned too late as their sensors were destroyed. Final phase, Helena ordered. All vessels concentrate fire on the last intact Vex ship. The combined fleet converged, weapons blazing. The last Vex ship tried to retreat but couldn't outrun the faster human vessel. The Dauntless moved alongside it, firing point blank with weapons designed to disrupt quantum fields. In less than 15 minutes, all 3 Vex ships floated dead in space. The bridge crew of the Dauntless cheered. Even Cressistal stood in stunned silence. How? He finally asked. How did you defeat them so easily? Helena turned to him. Asymmetric warfare, psychological tactics, Concepts your people abandoned centuries ago. The Coalition fights with honor, Crestal said stiffly. Humans fight to win, Helena replied. And now we've proven the Vex can be beaten. She looked at the disabled ships on the view screen. But this was just the beginning. They'll adapt to our tactics, and now they know humans have returned to the galaxy. Is that a problem? Crestal asked. Helena's expression darkened. I think they already knew about us, and I think they're afraid. The victory celebration didn't last long. 3 days after the battle in the Altaris system, sensors detected a massive Vex fleet moving directly toward the Enclave. 37 ships, Lieutenant Park reported grimly, including one we've never seen before. The main screen showed the new vessel, twice the size of normal Vex ships, with a pulsing red core visible through its crystal body. They're adapting, Captain Vasquez said. Just as I feared. The Dauntless and Coalition ships moved to intercept the Vex fleet, but this time, the enemy was ready. Captain, they're launching some kind of new weapon, Zhang shouted from tactical. Bright orange pods shot from the lead Vex ships. When they exploded near the Dauntless instead of normal damage, the ship's systems began failing one by one. They're targeting our technology specifically, Chen realized, working frantically at his station. The pods emit an anti-quantum field. A massive blast rocked the ship. Helena was thrown against a console, blood streaming from a cut on her forehead. Shields at 30%, Zhang called out. 2 Coalition ships destroyed. Evasive maneuvers, Helena ordered, pressing a hand to her wound. Fall back to secondary positions. The ship shuddered again. Warning lights flashed across the bridge. Captain, you need medical attention, Commander Crestal insisted, helping her stand. I'm fine, Helena began, then collapsed as the deck tilted beneath her. Get her to sickbay, First Officer Miguel Santos ordered, taking command. All hands, prepare for emergency jump. As medical staff carried Helena away, Santos opened a secure channel to the Coalition fleet. This is First Officer Santos. Implement Protocol Hydra. I repeat, implement Protocol Hydra. Protocol Hydra was a human contingency plan, designed for fighting technologically superior enemies. It had never been used in actual combat. Understood, came Crestal's voice. Though I doubt my people will approve. They don't need to approve, Santos replied coldly. They just need to survive. The Dauntless appeared to retreat, drawing the Vex fleet forward. Then, using technology salvaged from the previous battle, the ship split into multiple holographic projections. 5 identical versions of the Dauntless, each moving in different directions. The Vex can't tell which is real, Rodriguez reported, from Helm. They're splitting their forces to chase each projection. In sickbay, Dr. Hassan finished treating Helena's injuries. Captain, you need rest. Helena ignored her, activating a comm panel. Santos, status? Protocol Hydra is working, came the reply. But Dr. Chen says the quantum virus needs to be delivered manually. The Vex have adapted their defenses. Helena's face hardened. That means a boarding mission. Yes, straight into the heart of their command ship. A suicide mission, Helena whispered. She closed her eyes briefly, then straightened. I'll lead it myself. With respect, Captain, you're injured, Santos argued, and we need you in command. Then who? Helena demanded. In the weapons bay, Security Chief Layla Nakamura was already selecting volunteers. 6 humans stood ready, faces grim but determined. We'll do it, Nakamura said over the comm. My team is prepared. As the Dauntless's holographic doubles confused the Vex fleet, the real ship slipped through their formation, moving toward the massive command vessel. Approaching drop point, Rodriguez reported. Helena limped onto the bridge against Doctor's orders. Chief Nakamura, you understand the mission? Nakamura's voice came through clearly. Yes, Captain, get in, plant the virus, get out. Simple. Everyone. Knew it was anything but simple. Good hunting, Helena said softly. Earth is counting on you. The boarding shuttle detached from the Dauntless, small and dark, against the vastness of space. Inside, Security Chief Layla Nakamura checked her weapon. One last time. 5 other humans sat silently around her, each carrying a piece of Dr. Chen's quantum virus device. Remember, Layla said, we need all 6 components to reach the core. If anyone falls, someone else must take their piece. The shuttle approached, the massive Vex command ship, using the chaos of battle as cover. Coalition ships were engaging the smaller Vex vessels, drawing attention away from the Dauntless and its tiny shuttle. 30 seconds to contact, the pilot announced. Layla took a deep breath. For Earth. For Earth, the others echoed. The shuttle locked onto the Vex ship's crystal hull. Cutting tools burned through the outer layer, creating an entrance just big enough for humans to slip through. Layla went first, her tactical helmet scanning the alien environment. Inside, the Vex ship was unlike anything humans had seen before. Corridors glowed with pulsing blue light. The walls themselves seemed alive, contracting and expanding like breathing lungs. Life signs ahead, whispered Corporal Jackson, checking his scanner. Many of them. They moved forward cautiously until reaching a large chamber. Here, they finally saw the true form of the Vex, crystalline entities floating in tanks of blue, liquid. Each crystal pulsed with internal light, connected to the ship through glowing cables. They're not just controlling the ships, Layla realized. They are the ships. Central core is 2 levels down, technical specialist Rivera reported, checking the map Dr. Chen had created. We need to. Alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. Crystal panels slid open, and robotic guardians emerged, 4-legged, machines with weapons mounted on their backs. They've detected us, Layla shouted. Move! The team raced through the corridors, firing at the pursuing machines. Specialist Torres fell first, a beam of energy cutting through his chest. I've got his component, Jackson called, grabbing the fallen piece. The humans fought their way down to the lower level. Rivera was hit next, then Jackson. Each time, the survivors collected the vital components. By the time they reached the core chamber, only Layla and Private Chen remained. The core pulsed like a giant heart, red energy flowing through massive tubes. Around it, dozens of crystal entities floated in a circle connected directly to the core. The collective consciousness, Private Chen whispered. Just like Dr. Chen predicted, more Guardian machines converged on them. Chen was hit in the leg, but kept moving. Cover me, Layla ordered. I'll place the device. She ran toward the core, dodging energy beams. With practiced hands, she assembled the 6 components around the base of the core. The quantum virus began to glow with blue light. It's working, she called. Private Chen screamed as a beam hit him in the chest. He fell, still firing his weapon to protect Layla. The virus spread visibly through the core, blue light overcoming red. The crystal entities began to vibrate violently. Throughout the ship, systems failed as the virus moved through quantum connections to other Vex vessels. Layla tapped her communicator. Nakamura to Dauntless. Virus deployed. Request immediate extraction. Copy that, came Captain Vasquez's voice. Get to the extraction point. You have 4 minutes before that ship self-destructs. Layla looked at her fallen teammates. I'm the only one left, Captain. She began running, the ship collapsing around her. 3 minutes until total structural failure, Rodriguez reported, his eyes fixed on the Dauntless's sensors. The Vex command ship was breaking apart, blue cracks spreading across its crystal surface. Captain Vasquez gripped the arms of her command chair. Any sign of Chief Nakamura? Still nothing, Park replied from communications. Wait, I'm getting a weak signal from the extraction point. Move us in, Helena ordered. Combat teams prepare for emergency recovery. The Dauntless maneuvered dangerously close to the disintegrating Vex vessel. Around them, the entire Vex fleet was in chaos. Some ships drifted powerless. Others fired randomly into space, their coordination completely broken by the quantum virus. Coalition ships report the virus is working, Commander Cressistal announced. The Vex network is collapsing across 7 star systems. Helena barely heard him. Her focus was entirely on the rescue operation. I see her, Zhang shouted, pointing at a small figure in a spacesuit, jumping from an opening in the Vex hull. "Tractor beam," Helena commanded. The Dauntless's energy beam locked onto Layla Nakamura's drifting form, pulling her toward the ship's emergency airlock. Seconds later, the Vex command ship exploded in a blinding flash of light and crystal. The shockwave hit the Dauntless hard, sending crew members tumbling across the bridge, but the ship's reinforced hull held. "Did we get her?" Helena demanded. Once the ship stabilized, Dr. Hassan's voice came through the comm. "We got her, Captain. Chief Nakamura is injured but alive." A cheer went up across the bridge. For the first time in years, the Coalition had won a major victory against the Vex, and it was because of one human ship. 2 weeks later, Helena stood before the full Coalition, council in the Enclave's Grand Chamber. Her dress uniform bore new medals, honors bestowed by grateful alien species. "Captain Vasquez," High Chancellor Omizal began, "the Coalition owes you and your crew a debt we cannot repay. The Vex threat has not ended, but you have given us something we had lost. Hope." Helena nodded respectfully. "Earth stands ready to help rebuild what was lost. We request formal recognition in the Coalition and permission to establish new colonies." "Granted," Omizal replied without hesitation. "And we have another request. We wish to learn from you not just your technology but your ways of thinking, your humanity." After the ceremony, Helena walked with Commander Krestal through the station's observation deck. Below them, shipyards were already building new vessels based on human designs. "Your boarding team's sacrifice saved billions of lives," Krestal said quietly. "We will remember them." "As will Earth," Helena replied. She looked out at the stars. "The Vex will return. They'll adapt to our virus eventually. But now we have time to prepare," Krestal said. "And we have humans to teach us how to fight." Helena smiled slightly. "We don't fight because we love war, Commander. We fight because we love peace enough to defend it." A new ship was taking shape in the largest dock, bigger than the Dauntless, with both human and Coalition technology. "The first of many," Krestal explained. "We're calling this class Defender." As Helena watched the ship's construction, she thought of the long journey ahead. Humanity had returned to the stars not as conquerors, but as guardians. The Vex had ravaged the galaxy until a lone human Warship entered orbit, and nothing would ever be the same again.